All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And I wanted to do a quick video here. It was inspired by a video that I was watching yesterday. It was a live that was done by the elders and apostles in New York with the rest of the main camp, their after camp lesson. Okay, and the elder brother Baqar was going into a few scriptures, along with other brothers here and there, and he mentioned how the importance of watching, but he mentioned that you have people that look at what's going on today as though it's something new that just came out of nowhere, but in actuality, it's always been a buildup. Okay, he said that it's always been a buildup, and that stuck in my head, as a title for a lesson. Okay, so it has always been a buildup, but that's why the scriptures say that lest that day should overtake you as a thief in the night. Because if you've been watching, you see how one brick has been put on top of another, and so on and so forth. Okay, if you were like watching the they have the boiling frog method. Okay, but if you were watching the temperature go up, instead of just trying to get acclimated to the societal priming that they're doing, you notice that though it may not feel as hot because your body's adjusting to it, the temperature they're raising it up little by little. It's called gradualism. They move in small increments, but they still get a great deal done. But by moving in small increments, they can slip past the defense levels of people's minds because they're moving little by little. Sometimes they'll stop for a bit, then they'll distract you, and then they'll move a little bit more. Okay, but all the things you see going on right now, these economic woes, the famines, the pestilences, all these things, has always been a buildup because these elites have always had these plans and they've had these test runs. Okay, what you see going on in other countries, what you see have happened in the past, and that's what throws some people off because they'll say, well, things like this, we faced situations like this in the past before, and we faced pestilences in the past before, and they don't realize that, yeah, the ones you faced in the past, in this man's society, there were test runs for what's happening. Okay, so that's why the ones in the past got resolved in a certain manner. They were not only testing, what it would look like, but how it would affect people, how they would react. And now you're seeing a great push for them to disarm the people because they're getting ready, all right, to roll in, and they need to move quick. That's why, yesterday, apparently there was another shooting in Philadelphia or so. So this is more propaganda to push for a particular agenda, but it's always been a buildup. And if you've been watching, you would see it. And that's why, whenever they do something here or do something here, we on it, doing videos on it, because we've been watching them. We've been looking at them. So every single move they make, every breath they take, right? every single, I'll be watching. So we're taking, note. We're watching them. They even take a deep breath. Our eyes are on them, trying to see what they're gonna exhale. And ultimately, that's why they wanna get rid of us. But that's why we're not surprised by the things that are going on. Now, of course, look, knowing the things that are gonna come is gonna give you stability. Knowing what to do when they come is gonna give you stability. But it doesn't mean that you're not gonna be, nervous, because we're still in the flesh. It doesn't mean that when you're in the situation, your heart is not gonna be beating, your adrenaline is not gonna be pumping. Of course, those things are gonna happen. But you're gonna be more rational, having had a heads up as to what's coming, knowing that it would lead to this. So even when these famines and the riots and the blackouts and things start kicking off, we'll still be expecting more, because we know that it's still got to get worse and there's still more to come. See? And when you have that mindset of, okay, this is happening, but there's still more, it allows you to pace your mental stability in a right way. Because you know, all right, this ain't even the max yet. Let me chill out. Let me not bug out. Okay? So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 62, verse 6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. And who are the watchmen upon the walls of Jerusalem? The watchmen are the prophets, otherwise known as the seers, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. And that's why you see us constantly pushing out videos to edify. Okay? Prophecy, history, breakdowns, whatever it is, we're constantly speaking and doing these videos, going out to the highways and byways and teaching day and night. Okay? You have brothers that are in other parts of the world where when it's night over here, it may be day over there. So videos are constantly going out. Sometimes you see a video at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 2 a.m., 12 p.m., 11 p.m., all times of the day. And that's the spirit of the Lord. It says, ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. So we've been ordered by the Lord not to keep silence. Even though there are a lot of people that want us to keep silence. But guess what? Even those same people, when this shit starts going south, they're going to desire, they're going to thirst, they're going to yearn and hunger for the word of the Lord to satisfy their lack of knowledge as to what to do. Especially when this MOTB comes out and things are moving. You either got, am I moving with it or am I not? What's going on? What do I do? And I don't have much time to make this decision. So people are going to get real desperate real soon. And brothers have been going into the different movies. And it's good. It's good to watch those to get a visual, so to speak. We imagine these things, but not that is going to be exactly as it's shown in the movie, but at least you can get a real world example in your head, to see certain things. This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And is the spirit, I'm reading from my computer, but I'm recording on my phone. And I'm on the Blue Letter Bible website, on the right side, they got like the little picture, the ad pictures. And then on here, I just read about the tower. And there's an actual picture here of a tower, a watchtower. All right. It says accuracy you can trust. See? But yeah, you're supposed to be on the watchtower constantly watching so that you can notice the buildup. You can see it get into the climax. You can know, time it and know, okay, what's going on? What phase of prophecy are we in? As verse 2, it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And that's what we're seeing happening. Now, it's getting to the point where it's not going to tarry anymore. It's getting to the point where people are realizing that hard times are coming and there's not really hope in sight. Now, these people who, they've been blinded by their trust, okay, in whom the God of this world has blinded, by their trust in these people, in these elites, guess what? They're not going to save you because it's not in their plans to save you. It's in their plans to destroy this economy, the world economies, crash these currencies, and in order to introduce the new world, they need to destroy the old world. So you are looking at them to save the old world. They're looking at you like we're getting ready to destroy it. And that's going to lead to maximum mental instability for a lot of people. Because by the time they're ready to jump ship, there ain't going to be nothing to jump off anymore. You're going to be in the water. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then it goes on and says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we're starting to see that time, and we're starting to see that, guess what? It's always been a buildup. It's always been leading to this. That's why we've been speaking about this for years on and years and years, to go even starting with our elders and apostles and their elders. Okay, but how were we aware? By measuring the time diligently. Whenever they brought new policies, when they pulled out of the 2015, the Iran nuclear deal, when they canceled certain treaties with Russia, when they all of these things we were monitoring to see, so we know, all right, yep, it's leading to that time. It's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. These signs are to indicate to us that we're in the beginning of the visitation of the Lord. And when we're at the beginning, that means what? The next things that are coming are going to be stepping into that. All right? You have before the visitation, you have the beginning of the visitation, and then you have the rest of the visitation. So you start at the beginning as we're seeing, and then we know that it's going to get worse. Okay? Now, for those that stopped watching or stopped looking or weren't looking at all, guess what? To you, it's like, oh, shoot, what's going on? Don't you know for years you had people like Ice Age Farmer and, even these different Adabu, right? And they've been warning you, look, the food supply chain is being broken, is being damaged, and in a year or two, you're going to start to see the effects of this. Guess what? I remember years ago watching videos like that. And of course, at the time, I'm like, we ain't trying to wait a year or two. We want it now. But here we are a year or two later, and you're starting to see the effects. So this isn't a brand new thing. It's always been in the works. It's just been kept under the radar. But we've been watching above, under, the inside the radar. We've been watching everywhere on it. So we've seen where the direction has been going in. And now they're openly coming out and telling you what they're getting ready to do to you. And they know they can do that because they know you ain't gonna do nothing. This is the book of Luke 12:46. The Lord of that servant. Now this is, matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 45. It says, but if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servant. So what's an example of my Lord delayeth his coming? Well, how do we know when the Lord is coming? By the signs he gave us. So you have people who lost patience because they didn't see things popping off, on a scale that was satisfactory to them, on a mass, large, destructive scale, or they saw something, it started building up, but it didn't turn out to be what they wanted it to be, and then it calmed back down again. It tarried again. So they said, nah, the Lord delays is coming, and guess what? It says, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and that's when they start, coming against those that are still doing the work, scoffing, talking shit, coming with incredulity. It says, and to eat and drink and to be drunken, which is being back in the world, all right, not being sober, not being vigilant, but being back in the world, partaking in things that'll distract you, and not having your mind set to watch and measure the times diligently. So what's going to happen to individuals like that? Verse 46, the Lord of that servant will come. See, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him. The other servants are going to be looking for him, but this servant is not, because he's going to be distracted. He stopped watching. He dropped the measurements. He got off the watchtower. It says, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. So you wanted to be drunk and eat and drink with the people in the world who didn't believe? Well, guess what? You're going to get your portion with them. And what's going to happen to them? The scriptures say, let the multitude perish which was born in vain. So they're going to perish, and you're going to perish with them. All right. Now, lastly, I have here the book of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant. And that's the key word, because your adversary, the devil, is as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Okay. And ultimately, Satan has that influence, all right, the power given to him by the Lord, but that influence on these devils, these elites, all right, to come and set this thing up. Now you got the spiritual demon Satan that goes about looking to grab you up by throwing different scenarios and different things at you. Okay. But the key part here is being vigilant. When you look up the word vigilant, it says to watch, a metaphor for give strict attention to, be cautious, active. It says to take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity suddenly overtake one. You hear that? That's why it says, well, when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction cometh upon them. So we are to watch, because the build up is at a boiling point and is getting ready to explode. And somebody who's been watching it build up would know, oh, it's about to blow, and step back. But somebody who hasn't been watching is just there. What's about to blow? And then kaboom, they're gone. But I'm gonna read this again. Vigilant, it says, a metaphor for give strict attention to, be cautious, active. And that's the spirit and mindset you're supposed to be in. When the Lord said watch, this is the kind of watching you're supposed to be doing. Giving strict attention to these prophecies, to current events, to the scriptures, to take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity suddenly overtake one. And you don't want to end up in this category where you stop watching or you're not watching and that destructive calamity overtakes you. Okay? So, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.